Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. It's time again for the Tudors, and today we're going to watch episode number 2 of season 2. And the first episode is an episode I really liked. It was a good start to the season. Picked up basically where we left off. Henry still doesn't have his annulment. He still doesn't have his divorce or whatever he's going through. He's still dealing with his wife, Catherine. He wants to marry Anne Boleyn, but he still isn't able. We saw that he was made head of the church in England, but they added a little something to that, as far as the law of Christ permits. That basically, everything, that the whole title becomes meaningless because of that one sentence, because the law of Christ doesn't allow for a king of a country to be the head of the church. And so it's a meaningless title. He knows it. He's not very happy with it. So we're going to work towards him breaking away from the Catholic Church in a whole. We got a new Pope also in the first episode, which isn't very period correct because there was a new Pope elected after Anne Boleyn was made queen. So that's not really correct. I don't know why they changed it. I think they want to maybe start the season with a fresh Pope. I don't know. We only saw him for a very glimpse. It was played by Peter O'Toole, which is a really legendary actor, of course. Lawrence of Arabia and everything. He's really, legend guy. And I was very happy to see him in the show. I didn't know he was in it. And it was from the start. You could see it was a different kind of Pope. He even said we have to kill Anne Boleyn. That's what he basically said. And in the end of the episode, they were meeting with an assassin, so they're gonna try and kill Anne Boleyn. The French or the Spanish ambassador, Rhys, he was there as well. I've read a lot of books about the Tudor period and Henry and Anne Boleyn and stuff like that. Never have I ever read anything about an assassination attempt on Anne Boleyn, especially not from the Pope or the Vatican. So maybe that's made up, or maybe I just didn't read about it, but if you read books about Anne Boleyn, chances are pretty big that they're gonna talk about stuff like that if it happened, because trying to assassinate a queen, that's a big deal. So I don't think that really happened. They added that to the storyline. I don't know why. Probably to bring some more tension into this season. And besides that, there were a lot of important names, or not a lot, but a couple of important names dropped in this season as well, in the season opener. And one of them being Mark Smeaton. He is the guy who was convicted of having an affair with Anne Boleyn. And he actually admitted to having an affair with her. He was the only one of those group of people who were charged with having an affair who actually admitted to it. It was after torture, so I don't know if we should put much faith in that statement of his. Probably, it was because of the torture that he said it. But it led to his death and also to Anne Boleyn's death. So that's a pretty important character to be dropped in the very first episode. So my guess is that they are going to work towards the execution of Anne Boleyn, which we probably going to see in the last episode of this season. I don't think they're going to carry it over in season 3 because you still have 4 wives of Henry to go through after Anne Boleyn. So to only have 2 seasons after season 2, there's not a lot of time to do that. Of course, a lot of them he wasn't married very long to. Anne of Cleves, for example, he wasn't married to very long. Jane Seymour died after a short time as well. So, they could do those in quick succession. But yeah, my guess is that they're gonna show it in episode 2, the final episode of season 2, wrapped it up, and then start season 3 with a new chapter. You don't want to carry everything into a new season. We got Anne Boleyn in season 1 already, and now in season 2. So, and she's arguably the most important queen of Henry, story-wise, and everything that happened with her. So I get that they take their time for that. The other queens of him are going to probably be a bit rushed. But we have to wait to see what they do with it. But I'm guessing that final episode we're going to see Anne Boleyn's execution, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they are going to do that. If we're going to stick to the history books, to the stuff that actually happened, or maybe they're going to change some things here and there. I don't know. So yeah, for this episode number 2, can't wait to dive in. Let's just dive in and we'll see what happens. I don't have any prediction or anything because, you know, I don't really know what they're going to do. They're probably going to, you know, be some more tension between the church and Henry, between Fisher and Henry. Thomas More is going to be probably featured in this one as well. So yeah, let's just dive in. We're going to see what happens. And this is the Tudors, Season 2, Episode number 2. Let's go. Okay, so this episode starts off ominous. Who is this guy? See the assassin that's going to kill Anne Boleyn?
And we shall continue to insist upon it because that immunity was ordained by God. And this immunity from...
Yeah, Fisher is getting less and less friends at court with preachers like this, which is going to lead to his downfall.
The vote is crucial. One way or another, he must break the church. Now and for always.
Yeah, his enemies, the enemies of Fisher, are definitely going to try to get rid of him again or silence him in some other way.
You know what the French say? A court without ladies is like a garden without flowers.
Lady Anne.
I think especially back in those days, or in this show. Everything revolves around sex.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
I've also had a great bed made for you. It's almost ready.
So they are finally back from their trip, their hunting trip. Catherine is gone.
The best.
Asshole. That's the same guy he beat up in the previous episode? I don't know.
Come closer.
Is that from Catherine?
Who sent it to me?
Her Majesty Queen Catherine, Your Majesty.
Told you.
I will not receive it. Take it away.
Yeah, he's not happy about that. Neither is Anne Boleyn. Oh shit.
See the Chancellor, Sir Thomas More.
Sir Thomas.
Majesty.
That's cool. He's insisting on holding her hand. So everybody has to accept that she's the new queen, or queen to be.
Reminds us of what we have to celebrate.
Thank you, Sir Thomas. I will treasure this.
It's a nice gift.
I look forward to consulting with Your Majesty.
Liar. He's not looking forward to that at all. They're really opposed on matters of the church.
Are you really going to marry Mistress Boleyn? Whatever the consequences, whatever her history?
Don't question him on it, man. Maybe his friend, but
I have it on very good authority that she and Thomas Wyatt were once lovers. Apparently she fornicated with him on many occasions, sometimes brazenly entering his chambers at night.
She denies it.
Well, she would, wouldn't she?
I said she denies it.
yeah, Brandon, you really have to be careful, man. Like I said, you may be his friend, but, you know, if you say stuff that he doesn't like, or you get in his way, I don't think he will have a problem with cutting your head off as well.
Which is why he has appointed you his special envoy to the court of the Emperor.
He can't possibly do that.
Isn't that an honor? I don't think. He's not very happy with it.
He knows that you understand his great matter better than anyone else and that you take his part. You're better placed than most to represent him at the imperial court. I'm sure that you'll be a great success.
Maybe he doesn't like to leave the English court. Now you have to go to Spain and live at the Spanish court. You know? Maybe he doesn't want that.
I shall look forward to your report.
Or maybe because Spain is a Catholic stronghold and you know, he's opposed to the Catholic Church.
I suppose you've banished the Duke from court.
I don't think so. He's still his friend, so This must be a guy that lives at court, you know. He moves around. He even gets into the Queen's chambers. So it must be somebody that they know. I don't really understand. You want to assassinate somebody, why would you warn them? You know, if you're gonna leave threats like that, they're gonna double up security and everything. It's gonna be even harder to assassinate them.
Your Grace, may we speak?
He's like, if we have to, rather not, but...
Mr. Cromwell, what can be the cause of this further attack upon our holy church?
People can see for themselves.
You know, man. You're not giving him what he wants. That's all.
Nan!
No, here he comes.
This is the king. This is the queen. And this is myself with my head cut off.
Well, that's gonna happen. It is a prophecy, yeah. It's also a threat, but it's also a prophecy.
I have His Majesty's order to banish you from court.
Oh, man.
You have displeased him, it seems.
Oh, man, he's really banishing him. I think this is now the second time that he gets banished, you know? When he married Henry's sister, he was banished, and now again.
We thought the clergy were wholly our subjects. But now we can see they are only half our subjects.
Yeah, he's really stepping it up now. I think what next is they have to speak out in favor of him.
I demand to know whose subjects are you? The Pope's or mine?
Boleyn is happy. Yeah, this is what gets Thomas More killed. You know, they have to speak out to something that he's the head of the church and everything, and he refuses, and then he has his head cut off.
These next few days will determine the future of our faith.
You're right about that. Change a lot of things.
That's why I'm asking you and people like you to remain strong and true. If you do, then you will deserve God's great reward.
Yeah, I don't think everybody's gonna stay true and everything, you know, when the penalty of death is above you, above your head, you know.
I beseech your highness to take heed, not to pursue the path you seem to be taking, or you will surely follow Ahab, who married the...
Man, this guy's got some balls, you know, to speak out to the king right in front of him.
blood as they licked Ahab's, which God avert and forbid!
That's
hang me! Hang me, you dogs!
Yeah, that guy's done.
As for us friars, we take no account of them at all, since we know very well that the way to heaven is as good by water as by land.
Yeah. That's what I said in the beginning, you know, you have guys who are gonna keep opposing the king because they know they're gonna go into heaven and everything. But, yeah, some of them will probably speak in favor of the king because they don't want to die. Nice hat.
Do you still deny me? Or do you accept the authority of your king?
Well, Fisher and Moore are going to deny it and pay you with their lives.
Your Majesty.
What's this? What did he bring?
The submission of the clergy to your Majesty's will.
So he finally got his way.
The church is broken.
Of course, Boleyn is happy. Now his daughter can marry Henry.
Sir Thomas More.
Oh, let's see what happens here. Pretty tense episode this is.
I I come to offer my resignation from my post as Chancellor. I ask your Highness to allow me to withdraw from public life.
I don't think Henry's going to be happy with that, but on the other hand, the guy doesn't have any use for you if he's against you.
Ungracious, both in private and in public affairs.
That is true. He was a good friend of him.
If your Majesty saw fit to be reconciled with Queen Catherine.
Dude. He's not going to do that.
I will hold you to that promise.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, you can see it hurts. He's been a good friend of him, a mentor for, I think, maybe his whole life. Now they're on opposite sides.
A command that Lady Catherine return her official jewels.
Oh, she still hasn't returned them. They were talking about it in the first episode. Cromwell said that she had to give back the jewels, so yeah, she didn't give them back.
Your Majesty, this is the young gentleman I told you about. Mark Smeaton.
Mr. Smeaton, the Lady Anne has told me a lot about you.
And he's gonna tell them a lot about Lady Anne as well.
I will invite Mr. Wyatt to come to France with us. That way no one can accuse me of jealousy or the slightest suspicion.
Yeah, but he is very jealous, so he's gonna keep an eye on him for sure.
I've received the most illuminating letter from our friend Cranmer. It appears that in Nuremberg, clergy are allowed to marry. And Mr. Cranmer has taken full advantage of that fact.
He didn't waste any time. Hey, I can marry. Up, marry the first guy, the first girl we saw.
I've never been interested in reforming men. No. My only interest is in destroying them.
He's hardcore against the Catholic Church. Gonna be a big ally of Boleyn.
In her own right and on her offspring, the noble title Marquess of Pembroke.
He gave her a title.
Worth £100,000 a year.
And Boleyn is very happy. Brandon is there as well, so I think they allowed him back into court. And he's not very happy with this.
The patent of your nobility.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Of course, those two are very happy. There's some things that need to be done, of course. The marriage will have to continue. Coronation.
Custodiatum in vitam aeternam.
Oh, he's dead.
Archbishop Warren.
Yeah, he was coughing and everything early in the episode, so obviously that he had some, maybe a cold or a disease. Guess he didn't make it.
Mistress Darrell.
I came to give your poem back.
Found a new girl to go after, to write poems for. Doesn't look like she wants him, but
All are causes of my desire.
oh, he definitely knows how to talk to a woman. The guy doesn't waste any time. I think previously she said she wanted to marry as a virgin. Now he's taking her dress off.
I so want you to be proud of me.
Oh, I will be. And these will help.
Oh man, it's the jewels. She gave them back.
I don't know what to say.
Yes, you do.
Maybe say thank you.
You have been so kind to me. Let me be kind to you.
I don't want to know. Meeting again with the assassin. Who is that guy? It must be somebody who lives at court. So.
Traveling with the king to France?
I am.
Will you consider carrying out your mission while you are there?
If there was a good opportunity, yes.
He's definitely part of the household or something like that. But he's going to travel with the king to France, so he's got some role or position at court.
My dearest brother. Mon frère.
There's some tension between these guys, you know. 1 minute they're friends, and you know, just like that, something could set one of them off, and they're arguing it again.
We are here to renew our friendship, and that of our two nations. Come, let us celebrate.
Also, it doesn't help, of course, that part of France is in English hands. I don't think the French king is very happy with that.
No one will be happier than His Holiness if we should commit ourselves to reconquer the Holy Land.
Yeah, but he's not in the business of pleasing the Pope.
It gives me much pleasure to invite you and the Duchess to dine with us while we are in Calais.
Not as much pleasure as it gives me to refuse your invitation, my lord.
Damn. I think they were friends at some point, right?
There are rumors that your grace secretly supports the Queen and are against the King in this great matter. And yet for so long, you took immense pride in being totally indifferent.
Yeah, he was indifferent to everything. Suddenly he's taking a stance, you know, against the king and against Anne Boleyn. He really changed a lot if you compare him to season 1.
I can't wait to ride some young French stallion while I'm here.
Well, between you and me, neither can I.
Great, so they are saying he's gay. I don't know if was he gay in real life. I don't know. I don't think there are any records of him being gay. No, that's Anne in the front.
She's ravishing.
Careful what you say, man.
Do I know you?
I think you do.
Étiez demoiselle de compagnie auprès de ma reine. Je m'en souviens comme si c'était hier.
Damn. No subtitles again. Oh man. And I hate the French language. Sorry for people for France who are looking, but not that I hate it. I think it's ugly or anything, but it's too difficult for me to learn. I don't understand anything of it.
Do you really support my marriage to the king?
Bien évidemment. For one thing, I hate the Emperor.
I think that's a yes.
If I had not been born to be king, I would certainly not have wished that fate upon myself.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that you want to do. For me, I would never want to be king. You can do what you want, you know. Especially when you're born into, like the crown prince or anything, you know. You don't have a choice. Maybe you don't want to do that. You want to be somebody else or something else. You want to pursue a different career. It's not possible. The assassin going to try to do it now. Oh, he's got a shooter.
I thought Francis behaved himself rather admirably.
Saved by the Bell. Or the king. Man, I want to know who this guy is. How does he get so close to her? Are they going to have sex now? I thought she was going to wait till after the marriage. Maybe she's like, you know, nothing is going to stop that marriage now, so might as well do it.
And we will have a son.
No, you won't. We'll have a daughter. And a couple of miscarriages, but no son. So that was episode 2 of season 2 of the Tudors, and yeah, good episode. Not as good as the first one, I think. Not a whole lot of stuff happened. It was more, yeah, how do you call it? Political scheming. You know, people trying to outplay each other. A lot of stuff about the struggle within the church. You know, Henry's breaking away from the Catholic Church, and he finally got the go-ahead, so to speak, from the clergy, and they signed off. You know, that one guy, I think it was the Archbishop, he brought in some big scroll, and all the clergy guys, they signed off on it, and you know, they weren't very happy about it, but you know, I don't really understand what changes now, if it give him more power, or you know, is he still head of the church but under that rule, under the law of Christ, or did that change? I don't know, but it gave him some more power, and it, you know, definitely steered him away from the Catholic Church. So yeah, they were not very happy with it, and yeah, Thomas More resigned his position as Chancellor. So I think, you know, there's going to be a new Chancellor, maybe Cromwell is going to step up now. And yeah, for the rest, they went to France, to the court, to the French court, and you know, Anne was presented there as the queen to be, and you know, the French king was, you know, he was in favor of that. You know, he hates the Spanish emperor, and everything that upsets the Spanish emperor, he's happy with. So he's happy with that marriage, if it's going to happen. And yeah, we also got the assassination stuff. You know, he was about to shoot Anne. You know, and then Henry came in. And like I said, I don't think that ever happened. So no idea why they put that in. You know, it brings some tension, of course, but you know, if you know the real history of all these people, it's not very tense, because you know she won't get shot. But yeah, maybe to the viewers back then when this show came out and you didn't know a whole lot about Henry VIII and Boleyn, maybe you thought, well, this is exciting. But yeah, like me, if you know the true history, it's not very exciting to watch, and for me, a little bit distracting as well. And so yeah, we have to wait to see how that wraps up. I am kind of curious who this guy is, this assassination guy. You know, he has access to court. He travels with Henry to France. He's able to get very close to Anne Boleyn. So yeah, and there must be guards here and there, so to protect her, and he just gets by. So he has some role in the household. Don't know what yet. Don't think it's somebody we know, because if it's a real historical person that they're going to use, you know, that's not going to line up with the real history. So it's probably some guy in households, you know, maybe who washes the king's feet or stuff like that, or like the guy he had in season 1, the royal sperm catcher. I don't know, maybe it's him. Maybe he's sick and tired of his job, and you know, standing there with a bowl and seeing the king jerk off. Maybe you know, if I was him, would be pretty tired of that as well. So maybe it's him. I don't know. Yeah, for the rest, not a whole lot of stuff happened. Like I said, it was the church stuff, Thomas More resigning. You know, Charles Brandon was banished from court because he spoke out against the king, you know, against Anne Boleyn. But yeah, he was back at court very quickly. But he also took a stance against Anne Boleyn's father, which, you know, in the previous season he was aligned with, to get rid of Wolsey. But now they're on opposite sides of each other, and you know, like I said in the reaction, Brandon chased a lot. In season 1, he was, you know, a carefree guy who just, most important thing in life for him was to sleep around and screw as much women as possible. And now he's married. Probably, you know, he said to the love of his life in the previous episode, something to that stretch. And so he's gone all serious and everything, and you know, we saw him in episode 1 as well, when the Queen Catherine left the court. He was there, so he's a supporter of Catherine and not of Anne Boleyn. So I don't know why. Doesn't come across as a very religious, very Catholic guy. We don't see him pray at all. I don't think we have ever seen him pray in season 1 as well. maybe he just thinks it's wrong what Henry's doing. So yeah, no idea why, what his motivation behind it that is. To be fair, I don't really know what Charles Brandon's position was in real life back then on the marriage with Anne Boleyn. I have to maybe see if I can find something about that. I don't know. But yeah, his demeanor changed a lot. And yeah, we'll have to wait to see what happens. You know, we don't want to have Boleyn as an enemy, so there's going to be some pretty exciting stuff as well. And yeah, for the rest, like I said, nothing really much happened. It was a bit of a slow episode. Some things happened, some people changed positions, some things were set up for the rest of the season, and so yeah, we have to just wait for the rest of the season what happens next. So for now, just going to wrap it up. You know, no need to talk anything more about it because not a whole lot of stuff happened. And you know, if you have some comments, you have some insights into the real history that is different from what we see on the show, please drop it in the comments and let's talk about it. And so for now, I want to thank you for watching. Hope you join me again on the next one, and that's going to be episode number 3, of course. And also check out the rest of the channel. There's a lot of other stuff on this channel as well, a lot of other reactions, a lot of videos that I made on location, some historical original stuff as well, like I visit a lot of cemeteries. And yeah, just have a browse around, you know. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It would really help me out a lot. And thank you in advance. And for now, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.